Falcons have the ball now, and yeah, enjoy the game.
From Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Matt Ryan, after a great opening drive, has been roughed up by this Cowboy defense. They'll hand it off to Turner, who's had a quiet game yet again today. They brought up the Atlanta rushing attack a season ago. Number 1 in the NFL, 151 yards rushing per game. This year, they're averaging 71 yards per game. That is a huge swing. Well, offensively this year, I mean, if you look at their first 5 games, 3 times they've been held under 300 yards of total offense. They're on pace for under 300 yards again today, but yet they're capable of being explosive. We saw that in their game against the 49ers. A strike to Michael Jenkins. And depending on where they spot the football, he may have a first down. They needed to get to the 24. And it is a first down.
I was going to say, in order to give Matt Ryan this offense a chance, though, they've got to give him more protection than they did in the first half. And this was a pretty good start. Clavo there, one-on-one with DeMarcus Ware. Not what they would prefer to do, but they're able to get away with it on that play with good protection.
Come on, Falcons! Come on, Atlanta! Oh, wow! Stuff! -4 yards.
To make the stop. Ratliff, a very underrated player.
He made it to his first Pro Bowl last year, and you're right. I mean, as far as a guy who was a 7th-round pick, you don't anticipate him coming in and being able to do the things that he does. And, you know, he's sort of an undersized nose tackle for 3-4 nose tackles. I mean, typically those guys are 350 pounds. Jay Ratliff weighs in at about 300, but he's got a heck of a motor, and he goes hard every single snap.
And he's out across the 31-yard line, bringing up a more than manageable 3rd and 3.
They're able to use some of that aggressiveness against that Cowboys defensive front, get them upfield, and then run the draw. And you're right. I mean, they started this game out, Atlanta did very good on 3rd down. And most of that was there on their first possession. But since that time, they've struggled here.
Spotted to the 32, 3rd and 2. Incomplete.
Yes!
Flag down on the far side of the field. Looks like this is going against Dallas.
Pass interference number.
Defense.
Wow.
Number 72. 5-yard penalty.
Offside. Offside.
Now, if you're a Cowboy fan, it's a legitimate question to say, how does this continue to happen? I mean, we mentioned last week it happened 5 times in 1 half. Lining up off sides by a Dallas defender.
Well, and they're doing it in a silent count, so the Falcons' offensive line is watching the ball, and yet they're still able to get Dallas offside.
The Cowboys here playing a late afternoon game, and Troy, you were talking about being an event before the season ever started, and the sun fading into the western sky and then shooting onto the playing field, and that could be a factor before this game is over today.
Well, it could be, and you can see the sun coming through the end zone there. It'll be better for the Falcons in this direction because the quarterback is the one who really has to deal with it. When the receiver turns to catch the ball, the sun will then no longer be in his eyes. This is really more of an issue with Matt Ryan.
Snelling across midfield. All the way down to the Dallas 35-yard line. They very much like Jason Snelling. He's played fullback, he's played tailback, and he's going to take on an important role as long as Jarius Norwood is out injured.
Yeah, he's a versatile guy. You can't have enough guys like this on your ball club. And a nice run, but a nice job by the offensive line in creating a hole for him. And, you know, as you said, they'll use him as a wide receiver. They used him as a lead blocker last week. They have at times here today. And then, as we've seen, he's a pretty good ball carrier when he gets it in his hands also.
Day to throw. Now rolling out left. That's a dangerous throw right there by looking for Tony Gonzalez. He was well defended by Sensible.
Yeah, you'd say, wow, he really got great protection there. And the reason is they've got an 8-man protection all across the board. Only 2 guys going out on the route. The problem is that Dallas has got them all covered. And as a quarterback, I know there's always the constant discussion as to, okay, do we max protect, send 2 guys out, or do we let you navigate a free rusher? And I, along with most quarterbacks, would much rather get more receivers out into the routes so that you don't get caught with the ball like Matt Ryan just did.
Snelling again with a nice run. And also a nice tackle again made in the open field by Jenkins. He's had a couple of those today.
What Mike Mularkey was anticipating on that previous play when they did block him up, he was anticipating an all-out blitz and one-on-one. We saw Dallas do the same thing in the first half. They got the one-on-one, and that's when Miles Austin was able to score the touchdown. But that time, Mike Mularkey guessed wrong.
3rd and 5. Like Gonzalez was the intended receiver, but sneaking in 5 yards behind him and making the catch is Ronnie White. And that's the first down at the 15-yard line.
I don't think that might have been complete. Because you're right, you never put 2 receivers. It looked to me like Gonzalez might have got a little deep on his route. And what looked like a high throw was a perfect throw then to Roddy White. And he got his feet down. Now the Cowboys brought a blitz off the front side. Falcons did a great job that time anticipating blitz and picking it up.
Snelling becoming a big factor in this game, and especially on his drive. Hard to bring down.
And I think you got to go back, Tom, to the offsides penalty that kept this drive alive. And you know those penalties, and they're accumulating for this Dallas Cowboy team as they have in other games. And eventually, they're going to come back and bite you. It didn't happen in the first half, but it already has on this drive because if nothing else, Atlanta's going to be given an opportunity for a field goal.
Snelling out, Turner in. They give it to Michael inside the 5. And down to the 2-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, Harvey Dahl, their right guard, he's a heck of a player, and here he is, and he stands up Marcus Spears. And
this is getting long.
That Michael Turner has to come off of. They tried getting Claybo there onto the linebacker, and if he's able to make that block, then it's a walk-in.
They talk about Dahl being one of the nastiest players in the league. Behind.
Yeah, boy!
The end zone. Touchdown Falcons. And a point after away from making this a 3-point game.
That's exactly what the Atlanta Falcons needed. You know, after being able to make a stop when Dallas had the ball to open up the second half, and then to take this drive down the field and regain a little bit of the momentum that they had lost.
Point after is good. 5:26 to play.
Michael Turner runs for 2 yards to get into the end zone for a touchdown to make it to a 3-point game again. So Falcons got a touchdown, so we're going to say bye now. Bye!